I'll be honest, this week was probably the most emotionally challenging week that I've had with Avocademy. And it wasn't because there was too much work or the work was super challenging, but it was really because I had to battle my own inner insecurities in a way that I just haven't had to previously deal with. So this past week has been all about user testing. So after weeks and weeks of designing an application, it's now time to finally put it in the hands of users. So on the surface, it's discovering how users use the app and figuring out what things would make it better based on their feedback. But beneath the surface lies one of the most difficult challenges that I've had to overcome: my asshole of an ego. It's funny because when we are doing the user testing, there's a script that we read, and one of the lines of the script reads, "Please do not worry that you are going to hurt my feelings. I'm simply doing this to improve the app experience, so please give your honest reactions." When I told people this, I could tell it put people at ease, so I did get honest feedback, but it was very honest. And while I didn't think negative feedback was going to bother me going into this, I couldn't help but feel like there was just tiny knife wounds every time someone criticized something about my app. It was like any criticism of the app was somehow a reflection of myself as a designer. So if a user said that there was a design decision that was somewhat poor, then somehow that made me a poor designer. Or at least that was the inner dialogue that was sometimes going on in my head, and definitely not serving me for the better. Now, if it was a minor issue, like a button was labeled in a confusing way, that didn't really bother me. But one of the users told me that one of the core features of the app just didn't resonate with her. Like, it wasn't something that she could see herself using. Because at that point, it wasn't even about a design decision that I made. It was just the actual value proposition of the feature of the app that was a bust. Now, despite all this inner turmoil going on in my mind while I was conducting these user tests, I feel like I handled it outwardly very well. It's not like I got defensive with anyone, and I really did value all the feedback that I got from people, whether it was positive or negative, because it does help me to have this data so that I can improve upon this app with my future iterations of it. I think the thing that helped me the most during the user interviews was constantly reminding myself in the moment that it's the app that's being criticized, not me. No, seriously, it's not me. It's the app. The good news is my inner turmoil just started to get less and less with each subsequent user interview that I did, which was incredibly helpful because logistically I did 5 user interviews conducted on Zoom, where the user would open up the app on their computer and it would show the phone with the app on it, and they could actually click on the screens and go through different actions. And they were given 3 scenarios to accomplish using the app. And I felt like as I went through each subsequent user interview, I could not be so self-defeating with their comments and was able to just be a little bit more objective about the feedback that they were giving me. One helpful thing I found through user testing is my app is an app designed to help musicians collaborate. And one of the features is an instant collaboration where you can be instantly matched with someone to just start collaborating with on the fly, kind of similar to Omegle or Chat Roulette. But what I found from users is that they would get dumped way too soon into this video chat session where they knew absolutely nothing about the person that they were chatting with. So, and this was common amongst pretty much every single user. So now that is something that I'm going to work on, where I'll have some sort of window appear beforehand telling what a blurb about who they're about to meet, and then maybe giving the option to skip to another user if it's someone that they don't think that they'll vibe with. And I got tons of other useful feedback from the user testing. So now for the coming week, my job is to organize all of this feedback into levels of priority. And so from there, I'm going to redesign the app focusing on those higher priority items. And then that would be my second iteration of the app. and then I'll write a report kind of talking about my findings and what I changed within the app. So yeah, I'm getting close to finishing the end of the bootcamp, which is pretty awesome. I feel like I can just start to see the finish line, just cresting a little bit. And even though I am weeks behind the original deadline, it's not really bothering me much at this point. So my goal is to have this entire bootcamp done, case study done by the end of next weekend. That is an immensely lofty goal that I'm really apprehensive on if I'll actually be able to pull off, but I figured I might as well just shoot for it and see what happens. But yeah, if you're interested in Avocademy at all, there is a link in the description below. It is an affiliate link, so if you want to support this channel, then that is a great way to do so. And if you want to save a little bit of money off of the Avocademy Bootcamp, you can use the code SAVE100, and that will save you $100 off the course. As far as I know, that's still an active code that you can use to save a little money off of it. And I'll be sure to keep you updated as I keep going through the Avocademy Bootcamp, as well as my overall journey with becoming a UX designer. So until next time, I will see you in the next video.